I just get so excited about, like you said, the future. It's hard sometimes to stay in the present when you building something like this because you see how fast it's grown and you see where it can go. It has our touch on it all the way through, our impact, our personality through everything. So
First off, I'd like to thank God for changing my life and let me really realize what life is all about. Basketball is just a platform in order for me to inspire people, and I realized that.
So I get inspired by seeing people do those things all the time, but there's also a part of me that kind of snaps out of it and say, yo, I'm still in the grind with the youngsters, still playing the game.
The game just saved my life, so it brought me and my family out of a lot of bullshit, so I'm just like grateful for it, for real.
You know, it takes up a lot of work to truly think on that level of each game may be different, so you got to be prepared and ready for anything. You know, that's like I had to release a lot of other thoughts so I could just focus on that. And sometimes me retiring and what may happen when I retire gets lost in that shuffle of trying to focus on, all right, my role may change tonight on court. Did something to it. It was tough for me to go left sometimes and pull up for the jump shot, especially early on my first few years. And I think I started to understand the footwork, the balance, what it takes to shoot going right from inside the paint, free throw line extended, college three, NBA three. You know, so and that's why. And that small detail is the reason I think my game is, rounded.
Karan, even though you just got here a few months ago, we've grown so close over these last few weeks. And I can remember when you first got here, you wrote a piece of paper in my locker and said, KD MVP. And that's after we had lost 2 or 3 straight. And I don't really say much, in those moments, but I remember that. I go home and I think about that stuff, man. When you got people behind you, you can do whatever.
Yeah, I still feel like I'm that kid that's still hoping, but it's almost impossible not to think about it. And I can feel my mind drifting towards there when I see somebody my age go into transition out of the game and start doing something that I wouldn't mind doing when I'm done playing.
It's crazy to see somebody say they travel so long to come see their favorite player play in the Olympics. They spend their money, they bring their whole family. Like, it's just dope to me.
So sometimes it may not be all about me. And that's the beauty of playing on great teams and going to the Warriors and playing for the Nets and playing for the Suns, and you play around great players and different perspectives around the game. You understand it's bigger than you. And I learned that over time. And I think that's a part of the growth of being more than just a scorer.
I come from a small county outside of Washington, D.C. It's called PG County. And me, my mom, my brother, we moved so many different places growing up, and it felt like a box. It felt like there was no getting out.
Yeah, it was just, and it was devastating. It was totally devastating to the point where it's just flat out tears as soon as they said that, because it's just like, come on, it can't play out this way. No. But then when we got the call, it'll tell you how bad DC traffic is. We still in the car 45 minutes later on the way to the hotel, and they called us and told us that there's a 4 or 6 week injury, and just a broken bruise, and I was so relieved, and we almost celebrated. And I remember, just being able to understand the power that you have under you and your legs, and letting that flow through your whole body to get to your jump shot. It take a while for you to understand how much power you really have, but the lower you play, the harder you dribble the ball back up into your pocket. All of that small stuff matters if you want to be a good shooter. It was such a defining moment in my career, bro. People don't realize the thoughts that I had as I was going through all of that shit, because it affects your human life at that point. You can't walk, you can't function like a regular human. You gotta learn how to walk again, on top of you trying to learn how to be an athlete again. You know what I'm saying? And it was just, man, it was tough. My dream was to become a rec league coach. That's what I wanted to do. I wanted to stay home and help the kids out and be a coach.
I love basketball so much. I love playing it. I just never thought that I could make it to college, NBA, or stand up here today in front of you guys and be an NBA MVP. It's just a surreal feeling.
And I think having those conversations over the last 15 years has helped shape my mind to understand what it takes to be a professional, on top of my own experience as a professional.
I can tell how much it means to you, man.
Nah, for sure. For sure, because it's like, I come from neighborhoods where people don't even talk to each other. Like, so much hate in the world too. Like, when people get to start laughing and joking for a game of ball, like, it's cool to me. So like, it get me emotional, dog.
I really wanted to be a part of the NBA story. Like when you spoke about the NBA, I wanted people to speak about me too. You know, they don't speak about the LeBrons, the D Roses at the time, the Kobe's. I'm like, I'm playing well enough to, like, when you talk about the league, you should speak about me too. And I wanted to be that. So like, I wanted to show people more of my personality, my funnier side, or my kiddie side, or what I enjoyed about being in the NBA. I cared about showing the fan bases and the people who followed the league, I cared about showing them that. Because I thought that's what like superstar players are supposed to do. And over time, it just became exhausting.
I had so much help. So many people believed in me when I didn't believe in myself. So many people doubted me and motivated me every single day to be who I am. I failed so many times and got back up. I've been through the toughest times with my family, but I'm still standing.
No, I not as much as I care about the storytelling around the game. Don't dilute the storytelling around the game because of your personal opinions and emotions, and let's just present the facts around the game, because that's what's going to push the game forward if we continue to tell the history the right way. If we revised history based on how you personally feel, now you're getting in the way of the story. And what makes you bigger than our story when you're not even playing? That's how I look at it.
And last, my mom. I don't think you know what you did. You had my brother when you were 18 years old. 3 years later, I came out. We were stacked. The odds were stacked against us. Single parent with 2 boys. By the time we were 21 years old, everybody told us we weren't supposed to be here. We moved from apartment to apartment by ourselves.
Yeah, and I almost say that stuff to challenge people's thinking on why do you even have a GOAT list for one, and what does it actually mean in the grand scheme of things, and to also highlight that it's such a subjective thing that I can ask 20 people that you may not ever know or talk to who they GOAT, and they may say me, they may say Tracy McGrady or Paul George.
One of the best memories I had is when we moved into our first apartment. No bed, no furniture, and we just all sat in the living room and just hugged each other. Because that's what we thought we made it.
But it's times where it's times where I'm unhappy. That's just human nature. When we don't play well as a team, I'm not happy. It may not last for a long time, but I'm not happy for a good 4 or 5 hours when I call you after a bad game. You know what I'm saying? I'm not happy. And I think that's just like, once we accept that we have normal human emotions and reactions, of course my life is good. Of course I can't complain about anything. But in the moment some shit happens, I'm not gonna fake like I'm not upset about it because I'm living such a great life. No, I want this to work out. So I'm gonna figure out and go, and sometimes you being upset helps you figure out the problem.
And when something good happens to you, I don't know about you guys, but I tend to look back to what brought me here. You wake me up in the middle of the night in the summer times, making me run up a hill, making me do push-ups, screaming at me from the sideline of my games at 8 or 9 years old. We wasn't supposed to be here.
So when I say this GOAT thing, it's more so like, can I have a real basketball conversations with some of the best that's ever played basketball or walk those sidelines? And I believe so.
You made us believe. You kept us off the street, put clothes on our backs, food on the table. When you didn't eat, you made sure we ate. You went to sleep hungry. You sacrificed for us. You the real MVP.